Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Belim, back with another video for you. Now, as you can tell, this is going to be yet another video on the whole Jeffree Star sexual assault allegations situation. Now, there's been two more kind of developments since my last video on this. The first one being Insider Kat Tenbarge. She has written another article for Business Insider where she's come out and detailed the $45,000 check that Gage Arthur received in hush money payment. Now, I went into that in my last video on this, so I'm not going to go over Kat's article in this one. I'm not going to go over it all again because I've already presented all of that to you. So honestly, the Insider article didn't tell us anything new that we don't already know. So the other update that I was going to mention was Chris Stone, who runs a blog called Sticky Drama. Chris Stone, he runs this blog called Sticky Drama. It was around in the MySpace era. I'm old as fuck and I just about remember it. But there was also a website called Stickum, which was all about MySpace celebrities. Of course, Jeffree Star at the time was a MySpace celebrity before we had influencers and all of that. Before that was such a big thing and we had these MySpace celebrities, Jeffree Star was one of those people. So people would report on Jeffree Star online even back then, and you know, that's where Chris Stone comes into the equation. So Chris Stone from Sticky Drama has now come out and made a YouTube video, and in his YouTube video he has shown the full NDA between Andrew Gage Arthur, who is of course the alleged victim in this story, and Jeffree Star's attorneys. So he has exposed now the full 4-page settlement. The other thing that he also mentioned was that he was actually the first one to speak to Andrew Gage Arthur, that he was the one to break this story. Chris Stone is claiming that he was the one that was initially going to break this story about Jeffree Star and the sexual assault claims, and he's now kind of claiming that Insider kind of jumped on it and elaborated on it. Here we go. Let's hear what he had to say.
Insider kind of elaborated and continued more in-depth investigation and analysis. In the middle of that process, Gage retracted his statement and refused to cooperate. And Gage wasn't the only one. Insider, though, they ended up posting their expose anyway with the explanation about the retraction, because some of Insider's sources, although they were none of my sources, but some of Insider's sources had refused one of these $10,000 hush money payments.
In my previous two videos, I did mention the person who didn't take this 10 grand in hush money is called Chris Avery Bennett. Now, Chris Avery Bennett is trans, and also she alleges that she was bullied back in the MySpace days by Jeffree Star. Chris Avery Bennett alleges that Jeffree Star sent her a nude picture when she was 15. She also says that she's been harassed and, you know, basically tormented by Jeffree Star in the MySpace years. So that's what I know about that. But I do believe her. Seeing the way that Jeffree Star has treated his peers in the beauty community and everything like that, hearing all the voice memos that came out earlier this year in Sanders Kennedy's video, I honestly stand with Chris Avery Bennett on that. I do believe that Jeffree Star might have bullied her. And aside from Chris Avery Bennett, who didn't take any hush money, there are 3 other alleged victims. Now, these 3 other alleged victims all retracted their statements to Business Insider before that first article came out. So the Insider article came out and mentioned the fact that they had retracted their statements.
The whole situation sort of ended on a cliffhanger. You know, I mean, Insider published their allegations, but meanwhile the main victim of the story was saying nothing happened. And there's really no proof either way. Until now, because I posted it on stickydrama.com.
So Chris Stone, as I said, came out in a YouTube video today. He's brought out all of his receipts. He's brought us the receipt of the check, which is the $45,000 hush money that Andrew Gage Arthur received. And he's also brought out the full NDA between Andrew Gage Arthur and Jeffree Star's attorneys. So here he's going to show us what he's got. He's going to show us his evidence of this whole thing taking place.
Purchased by Scott C. Andrews. Now, who is that? That's not Jeffree Star. Well, Scott C. Andrews, according to multiple public records, corporate filings and that sort of thing, he is the CFO, or Chief Financial Officer, of Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Alright, so on September 28th, he purchased this cashier's check in the amount of $45,000. Now, I did blur this on my website and in images that I've publicly kind of distributed, but there is a bank account number on here. And I blurred it out, but when I called Bank of America and asked for them to verify, hey, is this check real? I don't want to give a lecture on banking privacy laws, and I don't really know them. But all Bank of America will verify is whether the account number on the check is a real Bank of America account number, and they said yes, it is. So I think in the whole context of things, that is more than enough objective proof. I know I'm not everyone's favorite guy, so hey, you don't have to take my word for it.
Okay, so here's a close-up of the $45,000 check paid from Jeffree Star Cosmetics to Andrew Arthur. So that's Andrew Gage Arthur. That is the alleged victim in this story. So here you can see the full check, signed, everything. You can see the account numbers on it. So this is the alleged proof that Chris Stone has got. This is what he's brought out, okay? So you guys can decide for yourself, but what this does actually prove is that this is a legitimate check, and somebody called Andrew Arthur has absolutely received $45,000 from the CFO of Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So we've got that proven now. Chris Stone then went on to show the full settlement between Andrew Gage Arthur and Jeffree Star's attorneys. So here it is. This is the full settlement. I'll bring up a couple of points in it, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing. The first point from the settlement that I'm going to mention is that on the first page of the agreement, it says, Mr. Star denies all allegations against him. So Jeffree Star is denying that he did those things to Gage Arthur. All of the things that Gage Arthur said he did, like drugging him, tasering him, forcing himself on him, Jeffree Star denies all of those. Then the second point that I'm going to bring up is the insider article. Now, there's a part in this agreement where it says Mr. Arthur will not have any contact with Ms. Tenbarge from Insider, blah, blah, blah. So they made Gage Arthur say that he wouldn't speak to Kat Tenbarge. That was the point where he had just retracted his statement. He's not allowed to speak to her again about it. So make of that what you will. There is one thing that is a little bit weird though. If you look at the settlement payment, there are 3 sections to it, A, B and C. If you look at section A, it says Gage Arthur will receive $25,000 2 days after the date of the agreement. Fine, great. Then if you go into section B, it also says Gage Arthur will receive an additional $25,000, providing that he has retracted his statements to Insider and they don't come out with the article. So 25 and 25, that's 50. The check was for $45,000. So something isn't quite adding up there for me. And because the amount on the check doesn't match the amount of money in the agreement, that is now making me question the paperwork. I don't know, but it's just making me question it. So now I don't know if all of the paperwork is fabricated or what. I'm sorry, but I've got to say that, because if it was legit, wouldn't the amount on the check be the same as the amount in the settlement payment agreement? I don't get it. Like, what the fuck? But aside from that little dodgy thing with the paperwork, Jeffree Star is a known liar. I'm going to give you one prime example of Jeffree Star's lies here. Remember Andre Marhold, guys? Do we all remember Jeffree's boyfriend, Andre Marhold, who he claimed stole from him? Remember how he also went in a YouTube video and he claimed that the law was going to be dealing with Andre? Yeah. You know what Andre's doing now? Andre's out in the club with the girls partying. That's what Andre's doing. Andre ain't worried. Andre's living his best life. Andre was a paid hired boyfriend. That's what Andre was. And the stuff about Andre stealing from him, bullshit. I don't buy that. Do not buy that at all. Because if Andre stole from him and, you know, the authorities are dealing with it, as Jeffree Star said, then why is Andre Marhold still out there scot-free, living his best life, partying away, you know, jiggling girls' butts and all the rest of it? So Jeffree Star is a known liar. He is a pathological liar. So how can we trust anything that comes out of Jeffree Star's mouth? We can't. Jeffree Star denying these assault claims. Do we believe it? When he said things like that about Andre Marhold, oh yeah, the police are after him and all this, and that turned out to be a complete lie. And now, oh yeah, now he denies these allegations. Well, do we think that's another lie? Probably. I mean, I can't say I'm not disappointed, but I'm not surprised either. At this stage, honestly, I am not surprised with Jeffree Star's lies at all. I'm like, girl, everything that comes out of that mouth is bullshit. And of course, there are going to be the people who say, oh, well, you know, this is a crime. Why don't they just report it to the police? I never reported it to the police when it happened to me. I never went to police over it. I just dealt with it on my own. So for those people, you know, every survivor, every victim deals with things differently. And I'm always going to stick up for the victim, you know, the survivors. So I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for Jeffree Star. And I'm not going to sit here and defend Jeffree Star. Because at the end of the day, somebody has received $45,000 in payment for retracting their statements to a publication. They've received $45,000 in hush money. Either way you look at it, that, even for Jeffree Star, that is low. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop this little video here and I'm going to say take care, stay safe, stay well, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. Bye, guys.